Order filled.
Okay, good afternoon, folks. Hope everyone is well. Just give me a second. It's just I've got an evaluation going here.
Order filled. Order filled.
Come on, push up. It's all right. I'm just trading on an evaluation. Just on one account. Come on, push up. Okay, I'll just let that go. It is a risky trade. Looking for two legs up. Let me just push that up a bit higher. Might be able to get some in here. Bear me a second. Don't do that. Come on, push up. Damn it. It's doing the complete opposite. It's going to blow this. Now push up. Come on. Excuse me just a second. That's it. That's what I wanted. Push. It's not going to work. Excuse me just a sec. It's all right, there's a bear bar trapped on the NQ, so I hate that. It doesn't matter what you do sometimes in these evaluations. The second you jump in, it goes against you. Just give me a second. Market is open, isn't it? Yeah, okay. It's going to blow, I think. Go on, push up, push up, push up, push up, push up. I'll say hello in just a second. You blooming thing.
Order
that's
canceled.
So frustrating. Oh, it makes me angry that it does. Doesn't matter what you do. Sometimes it just does not bloody work. And now it's going to turn. Okay, so Tony, how you doing, bud? Karina, good morning to you. Ben, how you doing? Daryl, how are you? Karina, 1PA. Yeah, I've been trading one by itself late in the evenings when the market reopens. It's okay. I was just trading it on the NQ. We had this leg up with a break. There was a bearish bar and it triggered and starting to push up, and I jumped in here thinking it was going to break above there and probably hit there, and it's just continued down. It is so frustrating. I don't know what it is. Sometimes when you're trading them silly and aggressive, you always seem to lose. Luck doesn't come into it. And I think, hey Jan, how you doing? I think probably what it is you trade them differently for some reason. I don't often lose a trade when I trade properly, but when you trade aggressively, I don't know what it is. There's something in the psychology that makes you kind of take the opposite trades. I don't know. Anyway, PA goes out the window. So this one last night, this one PA, I've been trading this one slightly different, been trading traps. And in a lot of cases, when it opens, price will come straight down and take that area out. And as that pushed up, I think I went, did I go short about here thinking we've cleared that area, but it was actually on the NQ and it did the opposite in the end. It's so frustrating, but I'm going to have to stop doing that. So let me just get rid of this PA. It's so frustrating. I've just taken two this morning and blown them both. That makes me so angry sometimes. I shouldn't do that because it does affect, it just gets inside your head a bit, doesn't it? I've got to stop doing it really and just trading them properly. So let's just cancel that evaluation. I thought it was going to trap that bear bar There was a bear bar on here. I thought that was a weak position, and when it trapped below and started pushing up, I jumped in and thinking this is going to hit that, and it didn't. I don't know about you guys, but when you're trading evaluations silly, it's almost as if someone's watching your every move, and the second you do something, it makes the market do something obvious. I know it can't, but it does cross your mind. It doesn't seem to matter what you do, you know what I mean? So, it's all right, I'm looking at this here. It's a bit congested here. We got 2 legs up. So, in all fairness, though, it does look like we've already had a break and attempted a new low, but leg and a leg, there's a higher low there, which is triggered, but it doesn't look any good here. Remove from dashboard. Excuse me a second. A leg and a leg. It's almost like a... What I'm thinking, see, we've got a higher low there, which is triggered. No. Okay, let me get my head back in the game. Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter what you do sometimes. It tends to go against you. It's weird when you're trading evaluations aggressively. I shouldn't do it, really. I really shouldn't. I don't know why I do. Anyway. So... let's just leave that off for now. So let's see how we get on here. Is this going to come down 2 legs? I think it probably will. Let's have a wee look. So I've said hello to everybody, haven't I? Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Don't do that. Okay, so that's triggered. Let's see if we get a lower high here. See, looks like we've had a break and attempted a new low, but I'm not super convinced. So it's hard to say, really. Everybody hear me and see me okay? Yeah, lovely, excellent. There is a failure there. It has triggered below there, but I don't really want to go long here because we've already had a break of this channel and it may just literally nick above. So I'm going to do that there because this to me seems a little bit like it might be ranging. I've got to stop trading these evaluations super aggressively. Doesn't do me any favours. Do you go full? Yeah, I do. The trouble is, I don't know why I do it, to be fair. It's stupid, really. And I'll tell you why. Because as soon as it starts to go against you, you've just got no room to manoeuvre, really. But it's that I kind of want to get in and get out quick, but it just doesn't work. Let me just get rid of this one here. Let me just disconnect and reconnect. I don't know why I do it that way. Keep saying what I'm going to do is just trade it on the news. Just do one and trade it on the news. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But yeah, that 1p, I've still got 10. I kind of knew I was trading that one slightly aggressively. I was just trying something new. And it works some of the time. The trouble is, I gave it a bit of space and a bit of space and a bit of space, and it went against me. And the trouble is on the NQ, it's easy to get demolished. So, well, there you go. So, everything is done and dusted. So let's have a look here. So we got a short-term trend channel with a break and a new high. So is this going to test these lows now? Possible. But I would have liked to have got up here. So that may push up a bit higher. So just looking at this 1200 tick chart, there's a big bearish bar there which is triggered and that's pushed up. So is that going to push up there? I've got my eyes on this level here. But it is kind of 2 legs up, but really it's congested, so it's just not safe. It is the 1200 tick, tick chart if you think it looks a bit odd. It's not really safe to trade here, to be honest with you, because it is sideways, but we have got to push up and sideways. In a lot of cases, it'll do that. But I can't trade it like that. It's too aggressively trading here. The trouble is, when you get in that frame of mind of trading aggressive evaluations, it's frustrating when they tend to go against you. It doesn't matter what you do. Sometimes it does the complete opposite from what you do. It's uncanny. It might just be the way you look at the. It might just be the way you look at it. You know, you try and trade it in the complete opposite way, which is the wrong thing to do. There you go. So it's frustrating, isn't it? But I've got to try and not let me bother me. So I have said hello to everyone. Excellent. Okay, so let's see how we got on today. So we had a small trade yesterday. I got in and out of one quick. I saw it starting to turn into a triple test, and I realised it and got out of it. Fortunately, I think at about $75 minus fees per account. So it's classed as a green day anyway. So anything above $50, it's classed as a positive green day in the eyes of Apex. So just again quickly, this, if anybody doesn't know what this is, this new indicator, it's one that Jan's developed. Which I think is useful because it gives you an alarm, audio, visual, or both, either or both. And it's only got to save you once, so I think it's valuable. So he does have a website, and if you go onto his website, you can see it there. There's a few other bits and pieces there. Now he does it as free. It is a freeware, but there is an area for a donation if you want to help him out. You know, you spend a lot of time and money on it. So if you do use it and you get some value, drop him a few quid. I'm sure he'd much appreciate it. But I've been looking for something with some sort of an alarm on it for a long time because, as you know, I put my... I always put high impact news on there in bright red letters, but the trouble is when you're zeroing in on that bit of price action and you're concentrating, as we do so much, it's very easy to forget. You can see straight through it almost. It's as if it's not there. So it's useful. And knowing Jan, he tends to keep adding to these things and improving them. So yeah, he listens as well. I know I mentioned this. I mentioned it a couple of times. About I wish I had something with some sort of an alarm on it or some sort of a visual alarm. And he's there to serve. So if you do want to give it a go, download it. It is free, but you can drop him a donation if you so choose. So as you can see, that's grayed out 2 o'clock UK time, that is, which is it's around about 9 o'clock Eastern time, which was when Trump was speaking. So once it's greyed out, means the news has come and gone. And as we know, 7 p.m. UK time tonight, 2 o'clock Eastern time, we have FOMC minutes come out. Now, I haven't put anything on my screen there. I'm always done by then. I certainly can, mate. I'll do one better. So what I will say is, let me just... Trouble is, when I've been on the website, as soon as I try to do it again, I can't find it. Let me just have a look. I pick it up off Facebook. Okay, here we go. So I'll show you. I'll just pop up the web page. Enter. Okay, so this is it. You can see that, can't you? This is it here. So let's just open it up a little bit. Ignore those. So let's have a look. So you've changed this a bit, Jan, haven't you? Trading journal. Okay, so we know we got the trading journal. We've seen that before. So that's there. And let me have a look. That gives you, tells you a little bit about it and how to use it. Where's news handling? Here we go. So news application for traders, an alarm system for important news, because it is very easy to forget it. You know, we tend to focus that much. And that's basically it there. Screen 2. So there's bits and pieces. It's not difficult to use. It's pretty self-explanatory. But there's a little video that shows you how to do it. So that's his website there. And when you download it, there is a little box if you do want to drop him a donation. As I say, it's free. You don't have to. And there's the download there. Yeah. So there's the Pat's journal. There's a new indicator. I'm not sure what that is. We'll have to ask him. But it's really useful. So there you go. That's the web page. It is useful. It is very easy to forget that. So I've done it myself many times. So, okay, so what's going on here? There's not a lot you can do, in my opinion. There may be a bigger channel there, in which case channel break 1, 2 pushes up to this area may get us in the ballpark of... you see me all right there, can you? It's not very bright, is it? You just turn those little lights up. That's a little bit brighter. There we go. Okay. So, but in fact, I can show you here, actually. Where is it? There we go. Okay. So, there we go. There we go. So that's it there, basically. So I'll just quick run through it. It's pretty straightforward. There's the news, either today's tomorrow, yesterday's, today's, and tomorrow. You can change, obviously, your colours there, high impact, medium impact, and so on and so forth. Any old news, which I've got grayed out. And there's the alarm as well. So you can have visual or sound. And at a quick test, you should be able to hear this. You can't miss that. It's massive and in your face. And sometimes that's what you need. You need something to catch your eye. There's the instructions, but it's pretty straightforward. And there you go. So that's it there. There's a little donation button if you want to help him out with it, but it is free. And that's it there. But really useful. I love that alarm. That's going to save my bacon. And that is, turn your heating on today. Have you turned your heating on? What am I missing? Oh, can you hear my heater? I've got a little heater. We've got one of those houses where it tends to get cold upstairs and hot downstairs. So I do have a little heater on, but I haven't got it on yet. Why do I look like I'm shaking? Yes, a body. Oh, yeah, it was just a fleece I had on yesterday. It's just a fleece I had on yesterday. Yeah, we've got one of those houses that tends to get cold upstairs and warm downstairs. So, is anybody else looking at that possible channel? Let me just see if anybody else is looking at it. No, they're not really, are they? Not to mention that the news program works with all trading Yeah, it's kind of, if I tend to move that away, it's still there. It actually works separately, doesn't it? So if I close NinjaTrader down, it's still there. So I like the fact that it runs separately, so you don't necessarily have to install anything into NinjaTrader. So Yeah, I like that it runs separately. So, yeah. If Jan, if you want to sort of come up with a little logo-y type thing or something like that, mate, I can fit it. If you want me to put a link, can't seem to figure out how to put links to these, but I can put a link in the description. But if you want me to put something, I'll find some space on it for you. If you want me to put something on, I'm happy to do that for you, mate. Not a problem. Let's consolidate at the same time. Yeah, I'm just looking at this possible area. A lot of the times it will do this. And I don't necessarily believe that it's definitely that. I'll just put it there. Excuse me. I just put it there to see what happens when it connects with this area here. Something. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Whatever you want, let me know, and I'll pop it on my chart for you, my screen for you. There's other bits and pieces on here, but I'll make some space for you. Not a problem. So we have kind of touched this more or less, and it's reacted. So whether it is a channel, I don't know. I'm just looking to see if anybody else. You took a second entry long for 4 points. Second entry long. Oh, fell second entry long. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if it is that. I mean, it doesn't look terrible there. We've come off, a lot of the times we come off this sort of first swing high kind of down to the next one, and in some cases it'll react to that. Let's consider that we didn't get a good bar. Yeah, it's not brilliant on mine either. My other chart, in fact, let me have a look. This other chart, it actually kind of looks like a triple test. See, it's always nice to be trapping long, so you've got kind of a failure there. You're triggering that bull bar. So this push up and sideways, you kind of pretty much guaranteed there's going to be traders in there. When that came down and obviously broke below there, I've just got kind of mixed feeling of what's going on at the moment. I think majority of traders have got that. So maybe that's just a break in a new low, but when it starts to go sideways, you kind of sort of look at other options and see maybe something's a little bit different. So touched, break. We're nearly at the new low. We may come down. Yeah, see that bar there, it looked a lot better on my other chart, not so good on this one. But that bar there was a nice bullish pin bar. So you'd like to think, in fact, it's very easy to think channel break, new low, and in all fairness, that actually doesn't look terrible, does it? So you can kind of you're going to be thinking, 2 legs back, higher low, there's bound to be traders trading that, and hence that quick move down as it started, taking those few out. Unfortunately on this one, the one I tend to got my eyes on most of the time, it just didn't look that good. Triple test. I think that's the thing that just looking at this now, that's the thing that kind of took my eye. Triple test, definitely a trap. There's a failed trap. You can see that higher low. Well, there was kind of a failure there, wasn't it? But you can see the higher low, and it trapped traders there. You can see by the way that bar came down. See, once you get used to price action reading it, you can kind of see what's happening and where the market speeds up as it kind of eats up through stops. Trouble is, we've made an attempt at a new low. So there's no guarantees it will have another go. It may do, but it's not much you can do here really at the moment. It's been freezing in the UK for weeks and weeks now, and the temperature is due to climb tomorrow dramatically. Yeah, so it's been averaging anywhere from about 3 to 5 or 6 degrees. We jump up to 14 degrees centigrade tomorrow, so it's gonna. I may even put a pair of shorts and a pair of flip-flops on tomorrow and make the most of it. So, channel down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. I wouldn't be surprised if this does continue down. Let's just, I'll tell you what I haven't done. We've pushed up and tested these highs. So is this going to come down here with another leg? 2 attempts to push up. It kind of does. Let me just look on the daily. Stream with a mojito. I've had a few of those before. I was in Cuba for 3 weeks once, and that's all we drunk. That and strawberry daiquiris, didn't think much of those. In fact, see, looking on this daily, we've been consolidating for a while. We had a strong push up. We had a few attempts to push down and a strong move up. Yesterday was relatively strong, although we pulled back, and we're very close to taking out this level and very close to all-time highs. All-time highs, I think, are around about 61.80. Is that right? 61.80. So, was in Miami, couldn't get enough of them. They're nice, actually, aren't they? In Cuba, see, because I know they use things like sugar. In Cuba, they actually extract sugarcane juice straight out of like a machine where they sort of wind it out, and then they put the mint in and crush it all up. Yeah, it's quite a nice drink, actually. It's a very refreshing drink. So yeah, so this, it's hard to see at the moment. We may just get a little pullback here. I don't know. It's the answer. But I don't know. We're getting a small bit of rejection off here, this area, maybe. Or maybe we're just, a lot of times when we get close to these levels, traders take profits, which creates a bit of a pullback. So, I mean, if we get a pullback on the daily, even something like that, it's still, well, I mean, that's not much. It's 20 points, though. Which could mean a second leg down. So, I mean, if we call that our first leg and we could move another 20 points, I'm guessing 26 points. So we certainly could. This looks like a kind of a correction. But you have got to be careful deciding to go short here because there are no guarantees. I've never been to the US before. I always wanted to as a youngster. I don't know what I'd do there. I don't know where I'd want to go and see. I mean, I always liked westerns as a kid. And I always wanted to go on one of these ranching holidays. But I don't know, you just change as you get older, don't you? We will be going away this year on holiday. I'm trying to get my wife and daughter to go to Dubai for a week, just to try and give me some inspiration, but they're having none of it. New York is fun. Yeah, we really nearly went to I'd like to go to New York for Christmas, you know, like a Christmas shopping trip type thing. Caprini, is that Caprini? So, yeah, I'm trying to get my wife to, well, my wife's kind of quite easy. It's my daughter's the fussy one. She's getting to that age now. She'll be 17 this year, so she's getting to that age where she kind of wants to get her own way all the time. I actually like Turkey. I went to a Ludinez in Turkey about 10 years ago, and I absolutely loved it. The beaches were pristine. They got that blue lagoon there, and it's kind of like the epicenter for paragliders because it's kind of within the mountains. You kind of take a trek up in a jeep up to the mountains, which are about, I don't know, 4,000 or 3,000 meters. I don't know, something stupid. Maybe not that much, but and then yeah, it's kind of the epicenter for if you're into your paragliding. It's easy to get caught out here, so I mean that could be bottoming. It may push up, but there are no guarantees. I think there's a fair chance we could come down some more, but at the moment this just isn't really giving us much, is it? We could say we've had a channel there, but depending on how you draw that channel, you could sort of squeeze there, but then you could argue we've had a break and a matching high, so there's no guarantees that this thing's going to go up. And to me, you know, I don't know really, but is it kind of tipping? Who knows? But trading right around the middle of here, it's asking for trouble, I think. So channel down. See, do you know what's going through my mind at the moment? This is very much like a penguin trade. Now that's interesting. Now that is interesting. Unfortunately, I can't take that. I mean, it may come down, but in all fairness, we didn't quite get to the top and we're close to the low, so it's not going to end any good anyway, so kind of no good. Sam, how you doing, pal? What I wanted to show you as well, I was looking through Dan's Discord a little bit last night, and there is, if I could find it, end of day chart, instead of chart video. He does a chart video. I've never heard him speak. It's weird, isn't it, how you've been talking to someone for a few years, but you don't have a clue what they sound like. Let me just have a look. Browse channels. Okay, so it did work, but the bar was naff, so for that reason, chart review. Okay. Just going to bring it in quickly, just in case anyone ever interested in joining this. That was, let me have a look. I saw yesterday's, I'm pretty sure I did. Let me have a look at the dates. 5th, 8th. 14th. So if anybody can hear that, can you hear that? It's because I've been chatting with Dan on and off for quite a few years now, But you tend to not hear him talk so much about, you know, what's happening, what he's seeing. So I found that really interesting to watch. So I watched a bunch of those last night. So I'm pretty sure I saw them for every day. So that's the 14th. That's the 8th. That's the 6th. Pretty sure. Well, I don't know anyway. But yeah, it was just interesting. So if anybody's joined that and they haven't watched those, but it's just down here as chart review videos. So sometimes you're concentrating on the general chit chat and you miss other bits and pieces here. So interesting. So 2 attempts to push up. This does look like we may get some move down here. Unfortunately, I'd have preferred that. If we'd have got a nice bearish bar up here somewhere, then I'd have had a go at that. But unfortunately, it ended up, I don't know, I think that was more on the neutral side slightly. You know, I mean, we'd pushed up 3 or 4 more ticks and it might not have been the bad, but the fact that it didn't quite get up there, you don't know whether it's going to trigger your push up, take out a few of these stops and then do this thing to the downside. Daily chat somewhere. Yeah, now this is interesting. So Dan has just posted this. I did put a line on here about 10 minutes ago. It looks like it's tipping, which it kind of does. So, okay, so we've now 2 pushes to a new low. So that channel has played out. So if that is a channel down, then that would be an overshoot. So perhaps this is just, you know, we've had the break, 1, 2 pushes down to a new low. So I am keeping my eye on that daily. This to me, we pushed right up, got close to this and then pulled back, and we pushed up again and we've dropped. So where's this going? I mean, it may trigger, it may turn, but my gut feeling is I wouldn't want to go long here. I would suspect that this could come down to kind of this area here before it maybe pushes up again. You never quite know, really. But when you look at price, you have a few different things. See how we're pushing up there, we come back and we're struggling a little bit here, which tells me whenever we're struggling, usually we'll get a pullback. So it's hard to know whether this thing is going to come down some more, but like so many days, it's not super clear. I don't think that was a terrible trade. If the bar closed there or a little bit more bearish, I may have had a go at it. But the bit that put me off, I think, really was the fact that we didn't quite get to the top. Now, you could bring that down there or maybe even bring that down there. But trouble is, do you leave it there? Do you bring it down to here? You know what I mean? It's just... I had it there, in which case we didn't quite hit the top, and sometimes, but the fact that it pushed up and it rejected, it came right down, although we did have a bit of pullback, it did do what I suspected it may do, and break these lows. You could bring that down a bit, actually. What I will say is that actually looks quite neat on that midline. But I would avoid going short here just in case, because that now is at a break. 1, 2 pushes to a new low. So that channel has played out. So I believe you've got to give it a little bit of space now. And we've kind of had 2 legs down as well. So we've had a break, 2 legs down to a new low. So I don't think you can just jump in here for a short just yet. Although we've pushed up above that EMA, it's getting close to that one, and now it's rejecting again. So not an easy day again. So I'm guessing that little bullish bar there is likely to get stopped out. Trouble is, I wouldn't want to take a lower high that far from the EMA. But the way that's triggered and it's pushing for the lows, the thing is, see if you take that away, sideways, I don't know. I wouldn't want to trade that as a fell breakout because it clearly looks like it's tipping to me. But big downtrend from the top. I think I tried that. Joining these two. Actually, it looks even better now. Yeah. I'm never sure about these because of this big area here. I had this earlier. I think, didn't I have it? I think I had it there just to see how it reacted to there, and it pushed back, but we pulled up again. So I don't think it looks terrible. This space here bothers me. I think if it continues down some more in this area, then I think, yeah, I may put it back. But at the moment, trouble is, if you like that, you'd be looking for a short here. So I think that is better at the moment, in which case, if you wanted to take a short here, you'd be taking a short here. Now, if you took a short at the top, then you would be taking a short after a small break. So I just don't know at the moment. So I'm going to disappear that just temporarily and see where this goes. If it does continue to go down at that angle, I may get it back. My two trades today, risky and lucky. See you tomorrow. Yeah, you take it easy, buddy. You got the best life of all of us. So, channel break, new high. I don't think that was a terrible trade. I didn't like the way we had a pullback, but if you got a better bar there, I don't think it was terrible. So I have a slight issue here. The fact that we seem to be very flat. So if we had two legs up, I would probably leave this because there's something about this that I don't like. Now, channel down 2 attempts. Now, perhaps it's just me. Does my other chart look any better? Trouble is, we've had this break. And we've had 2 pushes down to a new low. So is this bottoming? Is this finally finding some support? Or is it kind of a spike and channel in which a lot of times it will drop out the bottom back? See, I don't think that looks terrible. Let's just take a quick screenshot. Oh, I hate that. Caps lock. Brilliant. Dan's got the same. Happy days. Excellent. Great minds think alike. So he's got the same thing as me. I posted it first. You saw that. You can see that. Look, I got it right first. Excellent. Win-win. Okay, so 2 pushes up. There's something about this, the way it's bottoming there, I don't like now. It may be me just being a bit paranoid. But there is a higher low there. Now, you tend to think a higher low like that is likely to get trapped, but it's gone up about 6 ticks above that. Well, and the rest now. So I'm not in a rush to go short here. The fact that it's just gone a little bit sideways there. So perhaps I'm being a bit paranoid. Wouldn't be the first time. That's the dream. A couple of trades, 100 an hour. He does well, yeah, and he's very good at it. I think I don't know what he goes for now. He did go for a point. I have a feeling he goes for a 1.5 or possibly 2 points. I don't know, but yeah, I know, yeah. Yes, it's the thing is, if you're seeing this every time we're rejecting here, so if you took that one, it worked. If you took any of those, they're not so much bearish, they work. So it's hard. What do you do? If I was going for a point, I probably would take more trades. Well, I'm sure I would. You know, I kind of have in my mind that if there's, you know, 1.5 space of the EMA, Mac would take it. I tend to not look at it like that because I go for a few more points. So maybe this is more like that. Leg and a leg. Not so sure. So if we like that as a channel, then that would be a break, wouldn't it? Trouble is, that also looks like it may be bottoming. We've had a break of this channel, 1, 2 pushes down to a new low and a few tests of it and a strong push up. So it's hard to know what's going to happen here, but price is flickering around a bit. Range there, reversal pattern, kind of does a little bit. Now, there is a little bit of support there, so it would have to get through that. Yeah, Dan said he's not sure if it still looks valid to him. It's starting to look more and more just rangy, isn't it? So there's going to be a bunch of stops here, you can bet. I'm going to get rid of that for the moment. But we have reacted to that line. 7-point range since the open, yeah. I mean, you start to get that feeling that we're making lower highs, and we kind of are. But also, this little section here looks very rangy, in which case going long here wouldn't seem natural going into those, but going low after it looks kind of like a bottoming pattern, I wouldn't want to go short into that. You can bet there's going to be stops there thinking this is going to push down. So those stops are probably going to range from the tops of here, you know, kind of this, well, anywhere here really, but obviously starting from above there, and then up here or whatever. The trouble is, when it's like this, it's very easy to get the wrong bias, and all of a sudden you jump in, bang, you're out of it. So it's just a little bit unclear at the moment. Now, my gut tells me that we're probably going to get up to this level here just because of this bottoming area. We've tried to go low 3 times in a good strong move. Now, we've hit a bit of support here, so there's probably traders going to be taking profits, which may create a bit of a pullback. And then traders might decide to jump back in here and push it higher. I don't know. It ain't easy. But unfortunately, you just can't really trade this because it's so easy to get it wrong. Excuse me. And the trouble is we push up strong and just turn 1, 2, 3. It's kind of a triple test, but there's no real signal bar. I don't see how you can take that after that strong move up. You've got to give that a minute at least chance to bounce off that EMA, because it could do. You don't know it's going to drop below. Trouble is, if that channel is valid, there's a break, in which case we may see a new low. But what I will say is, yeah, it kind of fits, but it also looks more rangy, in which case it may not. Anyway, if we've bounced off this area, there's no reason why we can't get down here. Unfortunately, there's no way in, really. Even if you wanted to. Just kind of very wicky either side of these bars, and then it slowly creeps down. FMC range. It could be. It could be. I mean, if you look around this middle area, we've had these kind of swings from top to bottom. Whenever we come back to this middle area, it does seem to whip around a little bit. So we may just be kind of stuck in that type of, there's about what, 7 or 8, 10 points somewhere. Kind of going that way really, isn't it? 30, 35, so it's about 15 points. So whenever we get these big swings out, we rattle around in here, then we get a swing out, we rattle around, then we get a drop again, we rattle around. So based on this, it could come out, but it could hit this level first, like it has here, before it drops down. So it doesn't really tell us much. Oh, sorry about that. I'm yawning away. So, break. 1, 2 pushes to a new low. Is there going to be a lower high here, and can you take it? There's going to be stops there, isn't there? It's very tempting. It's a tempting bar, but the trouble is it's right in the middle of this, so it could trigger you. It's hard to know what it's going to do here. Now, if you like that channel, we have had a break. And it could be 2 pushes down to a new low. It hasn't triggered anyway and then shot up. That's why they're just too dangerous to take them. Fortunately, never triggered, so never got any of you guys in there. But the trouble is we're a little bit above that EMA, and it's right in the middle of this. You don't know what the hell it's going to do. Second entry short, that probably would interest me. Yawning fit. See if you drag that out of the way. Second entry short here. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. 1, 2, 3, triple test here. Leg and a leg. Trap some bowls here. I don't think there's an up channel there. I don't think so. Could consider this a triple test if it pushes up. Oof. There's going to be longs in there, you can bet it, and there. Just going to get an order up here, just in case.
Order submitted.
1, 2, 3, triple test. Leg and a leg. Bulls trap there and there.
Order cancelled.
Okay, that's cleared any of that area. Let's see what happens here.
Order
It's a very
submitted.
small bar, that. Leg and a leg, cleared out this area. Let's see how it finishes. Nah, no good. Jesus Christ.
Order cancelled.
What am I missing? Good job I cancelled that. I could have had my order up here. Please tell me that didn't just eat a load. It may have eaten some stops here. I don't know. Good grief. Man, oh man, oh man. Donald Trump. Oh, please tell me he's not speaking. God, that was scary. Trouble is, you could have had I had an order up here. Luckily, it was up here. That's why I tend to keep them out of the way. Fortunately, good grief. So, where did it move from? It moved from about here, didn't it? It just sort of shot up like 5 1/4 points. Christ, that's going to give me heart failure. I'm not cut out for this. I'm just straight away. I looked at my news. It just might have been. The trouble is, if there's stops there thinking this is going to go down and stops there, it may have pushed up there and hit that at the same time. So it just might have been a bit of combination of stops here and stops here. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say. But that was a bit scary. So if it is Trump talking, he's making this job way more dangerous. I noticed even my order here went orange or yellow, which sometimes it goes, and I'm thinking just because of that extra volume or whatever it was that shot up or So it's certainly cleared everything out there anyway. So what's going to happen now? Is this thing going to go up or is it going to go down? Trouble is, if it goes like that, that's kind of a bull flag, isn't it? Trouble is, see, if you look what I just put there about 15 minutes ago, it's kind of bouncing in this area, and we're having a breakout here, a breakout here, a breakout here, a breakout here. And I mentioned we could get a breakout at the bottom, but not before pushing up to these levels, which it's kind of done. You see what I mean? So we got a leg there with a pullback, we got a leg there with a pullback, we got a leg there with a pullback, and then up. So it's kind of up, out, bounce, bounce, out, bounce, bounce, out. So I wouldn't be shocked if this comes down, but it's kind of rattling between these areas. Not that I'd want to trust that analogy, that analysis, but and not only that, most breakouts fail. But as we've kind of made a bottoming pattern and a breakout of this, is this just a way up? Or is it indeed going to come back into this sort of range area? Who knows? Fail second entry. Fail second entry short. See, if that's coming back into the range, that would be a fail second entry long. Yeah, I used to get mixed round. If it's up here going short, it's a fail second entry long. If it's the run a bottom, fail second entry short. I'm not convinced. That ate all those stops for a reason. That to me is a pullback. So I don't know. It's who knows? A lot of times it'll do that, retest the top and push up, sort of support or resistance becomes support. So I got no idea. There is a higher low on my other chart. Tempted to take it. Yeah, I'm
Order submitted.
It looks like it's testing this, so I'm in long on my other chart. And there's a higher low, 2 legs back and a higher low. But I'm not liking it. We've had pushed up, we've had 2 legs back and a push up. Don't even know what the risk is here. $300. It is 1-to-1, isn't it? Just losing confidence here. No, I'm definitely losing confidence. Tempted to get out of this. That's going to take me out for sure. Okay, I'm in. That's how it is. That's how it's got to be. I'm guessing it's going to take me out. I'm tempted to put that there. It is more of a risk, but sometimes it'll take out these early ones and push up. Let me just have a look on this one. I'm going to get out of this. I'm just going to put it up out the way. You can see where I'm in anyway. I can get out for a small loss. $50. If I get out for $50 loss,
Order
it'll
filled.
allow me to trade again. I have a $75 fluctuation thing. Now there's a failure there, but it's stacked up now, so I'm just going to sit tight here. It is 2 legs back. It's just stacking up now. That's the trouble. Yeah, I just got out for a $50. Now I have a fluctuation of $100. So if I get out for a few ticks either side, it will still allow me to trade because I don't consider $57 a kind of a loss. What I liked about it is a strong push out and 2 legs back, and we're sitting on top of here. So then when we had a higher low on that other chart, I actually liked it. 2 legs back with a higher low. Now, it hasn't taken that stop, and in a lot of cases, it will hold. But now it's going sideways. I'd rather just get out of it. It's struggling now, see, so it may just clear this area up. But that was a strong move out. Eating stops telling me it may have a go at going higher now. I could have held on, but sometimes if it's going sideways and you think this could go against you, much better to get out for a cheaper loss. That won't really affect anything. Another trade will certainly comfortably clear that up. See, now you've got a failure there. There is that is triggered, but the way it's stacking up, to me, it'll look like it will just clean out some of these. You know, if it was like a $200 risk or something, but I brought it down for that previous swing, so it's $400. I gave it an extra couple of ticks, and I don't really want to do that. Yeah, but the trouble is, when it's going sideways like that, if it's not a really strong position, now look at this now. Now that has got, I think there's a fair chance that's going to get stopped out, but I think it may still go higher. So it's going sideways like that, and in a lot of cases it will pick off these little areas. So it's just not worth it. There's no way, based on that now, if I could have gotten to that trade on the limit order back here, I could get in it now if I want to still. But because it's doing this, I wouldn't get in there. I wouldn't want to get in there now. So, you know, it's weird. I listened to a trader talk a while ago, and he said, whenever we get into a trade and it starts to go against us, we increase our stop. So we increase our risk, but as soon as it starts to go in a favour, we're trying to get out early. So it's weird, isn't it? So, you know, I've heard a few traders saying if it's not going their way, just get out of it. You know, it's knowing when to get out of a trade before it ends up into a big loss. Now, I've lost $50 there as opposed to 400, you know, which is kind of 8 times the amount, just for the fact that it may push up. But the fact that this is stacking up, telling me it's getting dangerous. So the sensible thing to do is just to get out of it. Now, I could have got out for break even, yeah, but it may, when it was struggling there, have come down. So I'm thinking I'd rather get out for a $50 loss than risk it for a couple of ticks and end up taking a $400 loss. So I'm not even convinced this now. What's this looking like it's doing now? Is this going to push down and flush out some of this? I think it will. Chicken close and a big problem for me. Chasing. Chicken close tilt. Yeah. See, I can live with that. That's not an issue at all. $50 really. My next trade, $300. Taking that off from commissions, I'll be up 235, 240. So it's neither in nor there really. And it's clearly, when it's like this and it's hardly moving, that's when it's at its most dangerous really. You know, it tends to pick off these areas of liquidity. You know, I could get back in. I could get back in now on a limit order if I still believed in the trade. I got in here, I could get him back here, but I don't believe in it anymore because we've had 2 legs down and 2 legs up and we're struggling, which tells me this is going to flush down, clear out some of these. Yeah, the EMA's holding at the moment, but it's still going sideways, which means it's still dangerous. So many times in the past I've got back in again and ended up regretting it, so I'm just going to leave this and let it sort itself out. Slower this starts to grind up, quicker it comes down. And not only that, it's definitely starting to look stacked, which means anything could happen. It's also 2 attempts to push higher. Now, it may eventually work, but once it starts to do this, I'm not interested anymore. And not only that, Thomas Way's just reminded me, could be an overshoot, which means it could come back down this way. So you entered a failed second entry short, but decided to exit break even plus. Yeah, I think that's a sensible idea. I mean, it could still go up. But leg, break leg. I don't like this. And that higher low, in all fairness, is a little bit too far from that EMA, the body of it, the moves kind of made. So this is struggling. Sometimes I find the slower it struggles to get up, the quicker it comes down. If there's not enough buyers here, I'm guessing buyers are probably down below here somewhere. So look at all of a sudden it's not looking so appealing now. So, see what I mean? Where do I think this is coming now? I wouldn't hold much out from where my stop would have been there, which it was there. Let's have a look. I'm guessing maybe there. Yeah, certainly could be. Yeah, it's hard to tell. You know, looking at what the market's doing, up, down, swing out, up, down, swing out, swing out. So it's bouncing off these areas. So would it come down for another leg? I'd say so. Just trying to fit this as tight as I can to the bottom. Not sure about that now. This looks to me like it's about ready to drop. Channel down, 2 attempts to push higher. I don't think it's a terrible trade to go short there. It's very tempting. What does it look like on that other bar? It's actually triggered, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, triple test. I think this is going to come careering down. Yeah, me too. There'll be stops there. And on my other bar. Here she comes. It's trying to go down, isn't it? But it's turning. As it started to push down, it flicked up. The uptrend. 2-tier. Yeah, it could be. 1 minute I thought that's it coming down, and then all of a sudden look at this. Now, as a few have mentioned, price is holding above that EMA, but that can change quickly. And not only that, it's clearly going sideways now. Now that changes things. Got 2 legs down, a leg and a leg up. I still think my gut feeling is that's quite a bearish bar. Is price will continue down. That's what I think. So we got a channel, 1 attempt to go higher, 2nd attempt to go higher, failure, and then down we come. There is a lower high there, but we're nearly at the bottom of these, so I'm sitting tight, I think. Very tempting. Two attempts to push up. Trouble is, once it starts going sideways, your thought process on taking that is kind of changing. Let's get rid of that now, I think. See, this could be a correction and it could push up. So I got so mixed feelings. I don't think that was a bad position to get in now. Yes, it's congested, but you can clearly see it. There's a leg and a leg. We've got a channel down, a leg and a leg. So I don't know. I just thought my gut instinct was that was going to come down. It is 2 legs up and a big bearish bar. It's taken out any bits of liquidity above here. Here's your code for Replicanto 160. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. Thanks for using it. 160. You know, it used to be 150 and then you used to get a discount, but I think it went up to $200, didn't it? But you won't regret it. It's one of my best bits of software. It's one of the few ones, a few bits of software I can rely on. So thanks for using my code. Muchas gracias. It's about as far as my Spanish goes. So measured moves played out. So leg and a leg. So it did what I kind of thought it would do. So that trade I got into, I would have lost it. I got in there and it went up 1.25. I'd have got a point at a squeeze. I got out of it for 2 ticks and I think I got off lightly. Once it starts to go sideways there, I just want out of that. So it was a small loss, but well worth taking. So now that is a nice looking correction. So is this thing going to go up now? I think it could do. That is the type of trade I would see gorilla taking. Trouble is, I'd have preferred this correction up here somewhere. So channel down, 2 attempts to push up and leg down. So leg, 2 attempts and the leg. I want to screw up my phone. No, definitely not on there. I wouldn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. If that had pushed up and we'd have had a correction there, then I'd have had a go at some of that because I really like those type of corrections and it may work. But the fact that we rejected off here and we've come down tells me that I think there's a fair chance that we test these lows. Or maybe there is a bigger channel down. It's really hard to tell. We know FOMC days can be a little bit unpredictable. So there may be something larger, in which case it may come down, but I actually like that kind of correction. It's quite easy to read. You know, we have 2 legs down, 2 legs up, 2 legs down. So just leg, 2 attempts to push higher on a leg. So measured move. So yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. So if you'd have gone along there up to the EMA, 0.5, I'd have wanted there really. But whenever you see that often, it moves well. Time is it? 4 o'clock. Is it that time? Is it that time? Is it that time? We're alive as anything else. Yeah. I do like them. They're kind of almost, you can clearly see it's not a channel, it's just a leg and a leg. And it's reacted off here. Yes, it's that time. 2 minutes. Sorry, okay. I just poured myself, well, it's Friday, isn't it? Well, it's not really, but kind of feels like a Friday. So I just poured myself a 10-year-old rum cask. So, cheers, everyone. So, let's have a look. It's 4 o'clock in the UK. As far as I'm concerned, once it's past breakfast time, it's fair game. Can be for that's the good thing. I mean, how many jobs can you drink whiskey while you're at work? I've never found one yet, to be honest with you. You're either working for someone else or you're either driving. There's nothing nicer than sitting there, sit there with a single malt. I'm gonna have to start using this desk as well. I bought one of these. See it rising, and I'm shrinking. It's one of those sit-stand desks. I got it because I was going to spend a bit of time standing up, but it hasn't kind of worked out that way. Looked like a really good measured move bounce. Yeah. We had a move up and we had a correction. Do you remember me mentioning about Penguin? I still watch his trades sometimes. That is the type of trade he would take. And he would get out at the highs So it's not as many points as I thought, but even if you take it, well, if you take it to there, there's certainly 8 points. So, excuse me. Now, I do expect a little pullback before it pushes up, but my gut feeling, leg up with a correction, is, mind you, I don't know, the way I'm seeing this here is I wouldn't be surprised if we hit this level. This is very, did someone mention something or other, session highs and low. Yeah, it's hard to know, isn't it, really? It is very much in this area, so you have got to be careful. But if we had a second entry long there with a break, I wouldn't have any issues with taking that, really, if it was 2 nice legs back. But that, up to these highs there, is 8 points, and that is the type of trade. I wish he'd come back. Now, he lives in Israel. Obviously, Israel's changed a lot, hasn't it, in the last, well, I was going to say 12 months. It's actually 3 years or something, isn't it? I may drop my message and ask him if he's trading, because I liked him. I liked what he had to say. Too much wick. Oh, absolutely. That's why I didn't take it. Now, I see these, and a lot of the times they work. Now, it's one of those cases that we have had 2 legs down and you don't know whether it's going to test these lows, so I'm not confident enough to take it. But I do like these corrections that look like this. 2 legs down, 2 legs up, 2 legs down. And it kind of clears everything out and up we go again. But this, to me, almost looks like it was bottoming. It's kind of like a W pattern, but it looks like it's bottoming. But it doesn't, to me, look like there's a channel up. This doesn't seem like a channel. So I would say this is just ranging at the moment, and that's probably something to do with the fact that FOMC is a few hours away. So whether we get up to this level or we get here, but I'd say we're quite likely going to clear the top of this after this correction. And I like the fact that it breaks below but closes up above or right on this line. We get, 2 or 3 bars there, and often that does. But what I tend to do is make a mental note whenever I see this. We don't see it as much, but whenever we have something that obvious, 2 legs down, 2 legs up, 2 legs down, and we bounce at a measured leg and we didn't quite hit these lows, it often does that. So what did I say? 8 points? 8 points. Let's see if we'd have got it. Which would be there. I don't see why not. My biggest payout. Not as much as you think, actually. 6,000. I had 6,000 last year, although I only made 22,000 all last year. I've had 7,000 in January. So 7,000, I think. Another 3 to 4 days of trading, I've got about another 3 to 4,000 that I can take out. So that should take us about to 12,000 for the first 2 months. Now, for me at the moment, I'm just focusing on taking trades day by day, waiting for good quality setups and trying to get something every month. Yeah, it's a nice start to the year, isn't it, if you can get a nice boost. The beauty is I haven't spent much either in the last couple of months. I've probably, well, I say not much. I probably spent about $600 or $800, which is actually not a lot for me. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. I hope we all help each other. There's the thing I like about this stream is there's more experienced traders than me and there's less experienced traders than me. So I like the fact that we've got a kind of a nice balance. And I've been told this before, you learn more when you learn with other people because you pick up what they've picked up. There's always gaps in your knowledge. So little gaps that I've got, I pick up off other people and so on and so forth. So my plan for this year, I'm not going to set a monetary plan because you can only really give what the market takes you. But my goal or my target this year is just to try and get something every month. More about consistency. Because I believe if you get consistent, that will help you with the confidence. My lowest account at the moment is $1,500. My highest account is $3,200. So once they're all above $2,600, you can take a trade there, put your stop to break even, and ride it if you want to. And it doesn't matter whether they come back. What I'm saying is, and you know this anyway, is once you hit $2,600, your drawdown stops moving. It freezes at $5,100. So you can afford to go for bigger moves if you see something like this and you think, I like this, I'm going to ride this to the top. Or what I'd probably do there is let that ride it up. Once we get up to the midline here, I'd probably put my stop there. Once we pushed up from there, I'd put my stop there, I think. And even if it come down and got me there, there's still 4.5 points. But I think it'll push out that top. So I'd like to go for a few more points if I think there's a good chance we'll kind of get up there. Do you plan to get more PAs? Well, I've got 10. I had 11. I was aggressively trading one, just trying to push it up a bit quicker by itself. But yeah, now I had 20 accounts once before, and I didn't feel very confident trading them all because I got them all relatively quickly. And the trouble is, if you've got not a lot, so look, this is going to push up. So there we go. So that worked for 8 points. Now I normally take 6 points. Sorry, 3 points. So I've nearly got 3 times. So if we see a picture like that, then I'll tend to go a bit higher. See, if I've got my stop there now, I won't forget your question. Let's try that again. If I've got my stop behind here, I would probably ride that up now. So if I've got my stop there, I'll probably squeeze it up here, and then maybe, I don't know, I've got potential 10 points there. So if you can get 3 times one profit on one trade, you could do well. But there you go. So do you plan to get more PAs? Yeah, I had 20 once before, but they were all relatively low. And the trouble is, when you have one bad day, it affects all 20 in one go. And I just felt I couldn't cope with the emotional side of it. Now I've got 10, I feel quite confident because they range from 1,500 to just over 3,000. And I have had... I've had 4 payments, or 3 or 4 payments out of 3 of them. So my confidence, I think it's about managing those, those thoughts about money. We all know how much money you can earn in trading, but I don't think you can go from earning 30,000 a year to earning 300,000 a year. I think it's just it's too much of a mental jump to keep yourself calm. So I think it's a good idea to go up in sections, when you can maybe get a payment, then move up to 5 PAs and then move up to 10. So at least if I have 10 PAs now and I get them all to around about 4,000 or 5,000, if I try 5 or 10 more, at least I know I've got those, so they're sort of confident. So what I'll probably say is I'll see probably the rest of February and maybe the first couple of weeks of March and just see how things go, and then I'll probably add a few more at a time, 3 to 5. But so these 11 I built up. That's 10. I lost one last night. I was trading it aggressively. I have done for a few days, and I kind of knew it was I was trying something a bit new. But I'm okay with the one. I don't mind trading one, trying something new. But I've got there's just under $21,000 in them all. Just over 21,200 in all 10 of them. So things are going nice now. I'm relaxing. I'm enjoying my trading. I'm not panicking too much about things. And I think 10's a nice number for me. Now, really, all you need to try and do is get $1,000 from each of them. That's only $250 a week. It's not a lot at all. And that can give you a potential $1,000 a month from only 10. That's 6 figures. So you don't need a lot of money to make a good living. Thought about other prop firms, sticking with Apex. No, I will start to diversify at some point. The only problem I have about the other two, there are other two that I think about: My Funded Futures and Take Profit Trader. So My Funded Futures at the moment is $97. Now, I know how I trade evaluations a little bit aggressively. Now, $97 is the price of the evaluation. Now, if you pass it, you don't pay anything else. But if you fail it, it's cost you $97 for a failed evaluation, which I think... I'm trying to get this aggressive trading evaluations out my system a bit. I am getting better. I don't blow nowhere near as many as I used to. So once I can get them out my system and trade them with a little bit more structure, then I'll move more on to My Funded Futures. What's it called? Take Profit Trader. I think is a bit expensive at the moment. Now, they are advertising down to $85, half price, which sounds good. But if you pass it, you've got to pay $130 for your PA. So that makes it a little bit too pricey for me. So my plan is, if I can get to, earn around about $1,000 from each of these 10 a month, that's $10,000. Then I may take $1,000 a month every time I get that and kind of reinvest it and kind of grow that way. But my focus at the moment is, 2 months in a row with profit. That's a really good start to the year. So, and I'm spending less as well. So, so far so good. Average salary in the UK, £40,000. Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, that's about right. So yeah, not much. 3,000 a month, less than that. 2,800, 3,000 a month. That's about $4,500 a month. Yeah. I think expecting $250 profit per week off her account is not... I think that's underestimating it. One trade a week would give me that. That's over $1,000 a month. Now, if things get better, then I would, I would allow that to grow. See, if I make $2,000 per month per account, I'll leave $1,000 in there and allow it to grow. But the plan is just to get a payment every month and just sort of focus more on consistency. I'm trying to do all the things that I said I was going to do, but kind of never did. I'd take silly risks and try and, jump ahead of the queue rather than kind of waiting and earning my place. And it can be less, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, see, the only two I really think that interest me, other prop firms at the moment, is Take Profit Trader. I just like what I hear about them. Traderify is another one as well, but I think $500 for a 50k PA account is a bit extreme. Now, if you're someone like Patrick Will and you're earning big bucks, picking up, paying $750 times 5 to buy 5, it's not a problem. I just don't want to pay $500 to get straight to a PA at the moment. And they're still quite new, Traderify, so I like to give them a little bit of time just to see how they kind of fall into the gap, so to speak. Top Step never seem to have any deals, do they? I think I tried a top step account once. Now, Bullanox I don't like, and the reason I don't like them is they won't allow you to copy trade against any other PAs, any other prop firms, which I think is a mistake. So they say they know how they know. So if I copy traded them, they don't want that. So I don't know how they know, but Patrick Whelan's stream yesterday, a lawyer turned up at his office. Did it really? I wasn't a massive fan of him when I first started watching him because I thought he was a bit too flash. You know, they talk about traders with fancy cars, but when I heard him talking just one-to-one with Nutty, I thought actually he comes over as a nice guy. I think a lot of it, all the flashness and the cockiness is just for the cameras, I think. But when I heard him chat with Nutty, I thought actually he comes over as quite a nice guy. So I think away from trading, I think he'd kind of be a nice guy to have a chat with. But I do watch other streamers just to see how they get on. I know I watched a bit of Sam's stream and Alpine. He got battered yesterday. Alpine did. I think he lost 5 accounts. Which is the thing is about him is he had about $3,000 in these accounts, $2,500-$3,000. He ended up losing all $3,000 in 5 accounts. So he frustrates me a bit because he strikes me as the type of person that doesn't really suffer so much with revenge trading. And one thing I couldn't understand yesterday is if you watched his stream or later on, market was coming down, he was going long, it was triggering him, stopping out, market was coming down, it was pulling back, he kept going long at every pullback. And I'm thinking, I didn't quite get it. You know, he was constantly, he seems to do that quite a bit, and I don't kind of understand why. Every time we were having a pullback, he was jumping in long and it was triggering him and coming down and stopping him out. You know, he was kind of fighting the sort of market a bit. But so I do watch other streamers. I watch Sam. Who are you talking about? Alpine. If you watch a bit of Alpine's stream from yesterday, the market was coming down. It was looping down, and he kept just going long. And I was just. He was kind of lost for words of why it was happening, and I don't know. I don't know, as price action traders, you see price a bit differently? I don't know. So yeah, I watch his, I watch bits of Nutty's. I like Nutty. I got a lot of time for Nutty. I think he's a really nice bloke. Who's the other one I'll chat to once in a while as well? Volatility Trade, another nice guy. And of course Bart as well. Sam stream up when he logs on. Yeah, because Sam's got a full-time job. He's actually an engineer, isn't he? He's got a good job and a full-time job, so I know a lot of the times he tends to start when I finish. I think he finishes at 5 UK time or 5:30. But he's going for a little bit of a rough patch at the moment. It reminds me a lot of me 8 months ago. His discipline is he's getting into riskier trades. In fact, I saw him take a trade yesterday. It was a risky trade, but as it went up a little bit, he brought his stop up a bit. It came down, hit his stop, and would have worked. So he ended up. And then he looked to me like he jumped in a bit on another trade, and that went against him. So he's doing what we all do. You go through, you get a bit of money, and then you lose at a few accounts, and then you get frustrated and you mess around a bit. Yeah, it's weird. When you see people, you can kind of think, that was me 8 months ago, or that was me, and I know exactly what he's doing, and I know exactly why he's doing it. The thing is, Sam can read the charts. What lets him down is discipline, but that'll come in time with just frustration. So, but I was frustrated for him. Yes, I felt a bit sorry for him because he moved his seat. I think there's 3 or 4 things you can do when you get into a trade. One, you either leave it and leave everything where it is and let it run out. 2, if you think it goes sideways, you might bring your stop to break even, in which that's fine. You're in a risk-free trade. 2, you realise you made a mistake and you get straight out of it. And then what Sam did yesterday, he brought his stop up a bit from the bottom of the signal bar, and it came down and nicked him and ended up going up. So Wilson's so isolated, everyone tries to cooperate. He's so silent with his streams. Yeah, it looks like he knows what he's doing. It seems. Yeah, I've spoken to him a little bit, just via Facebook or email and that, and he's actually a really nice bloke to talk to. But yeah, he's sort of very quiet. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Like, I'm kind of a talkative person anyway, so you know. But a lot of people are a little bit shy. They might not think they sound, you know, good talking and what, I don't know. But some people are better at the technical side and they like to kind of sit in the background. But he goes through phases where he does go very quiet. You don't hear much of him, and then he'll come out. But see, I think streaming's better for my trading than not streaming. You know, I think you tend to do a better job when you're when people are watching you. So it's just kind of the way I think. I hate to hear about Taylor. He's a good trade. Yeah, I like Taylor. I really enjoyed his bar by bars. He doesn't do them, but I know I had a little chat with him on Thomas Way's Discord maybe a couple of 3 weeks ago. And he's right what he's saying. There's not a lot of trades around at the moment, and Taylor takes quite a few trades. So market is finicky and it can trap you a bit. I think the only way to play things at the moment is to take way less trades and wait for a really obvious one rather than playing the numbers, because markets just seem to want to trap you. So, yeah, he's having a bit of a rough spell. I think sometimes you just have to try and adapt, you know, what you do. But he's a nice guy. I like Taylor. There's so many nice people in this business. That's the good thing about this. There's no competition. It doesn't matter whether I make money. It's not going to affect whether you can make money. You know, if, you know, businesses encroach on each other's territories, you take my customers. Trading doesn't work that way. So I like the fact that there's no, you know, there's no sort of animosity to traders. He's taking stealing my business. None of that. I like that. And I've got to say, I know it sounds a bit corny, but technology just blows me away that, you know, you can be chatting with people the other side of the world in real time. It still amazes me. Better with Trump, but yeah, see, initially he's in, and typically when you take over, you kind of, you put your foot down, don't you? You make some changes, and prices a little bit, I don't know, the market's a little bit up and down, aren't they? They have had a few little bounces here or there, so perhaps it will stabilise. But, you know, see, I go for 3 points. I go for a little bit more now, so I'm not under that pressure so much to take many trades. If I take 2 really solid trades a week, that's a great living. If I take 1 solid trade a week for 3 points, that's about $1,300 on a calendar month. I can afford to lose the next one and still earn $1,000. So 5 trades, losing 1. It's a 40% win rate, 80% win rate. Win 4, lose 1. That's $1,000 a month. So you don't need to take a lot of trades. So I know people like Sam and Wilson tend to take more trades. But I think the way prices at the moment, when you keep taking them and you keep getting battered down, you'll naturally calm down. I never dreamed I'd only be taking 2 to 3 trades in a week. I thought that would not be a lot for a day, but But everyone has to go through that learning curve, don't they? Of overtrading. I used to be terrible for it. I still look back on some of my older videos and I can't believe some of the stupid things I used to do, but it's kind of how it works. So let's just think about where this could go. So we've way out moved that measured leg. So the touch, it actually fits. That to me looks like a break. So is this thing going to go higher? The fact is we've broken above there, so I think it could do. Mac finds no shortage of trades. Yeah, to be honest with you, I can look at yesterday's and find loads of trades. Second entry short, lower high, worked perfectly. Second entry long, although it was in a channel, still worked. You can find trades. There's a kind of failure there. It's a lot easier to find trades when you've got the chart in front of you, but in real time, you've naturally got that uncertainty. And Mac will be the first one to tell you he only takes 1 to 2 trades a day. He says it's rare for him to take 3. Now, if there was that many trades, I assure you he'll be taking more of them. There just isn't a lot at the moment. So 2 to 3 trades, that includes scratches or less than your goal. Say 2 to 3 trades. Say, yeah, 2 to 3 winning trades. I don't take many scratches, to be fair. But, you know, what the point I'm trying to make is you don't need to take lots of trades. 2 to 3 trades even in a week will give you a nice living. You know what I mean? You don't need a lot of trades. So let me just... I just want to see. Any of you guys got this in the one channel? Oh, look. I'd like to see 2 legs down here, which we've kind of got, only that's too far from that EMA for me. If it's closer, I'd have a go at that. So it's got to drop down some more. 1, 2, 3. You could even drop down more for a triple test. Do I think that fits okay? I don't think it fits bad. Just take a quick screenshot. I'd like to get Dan's opinion on this, whether he thinks this is a break or not. Copy. Range place, failed breakout, much easier for me. Yeah. See, I'm looking at this as well, although we have broken above that. Now, whether we've broken above it enough, I think we probably have. Excuse me a sec, I'm just going to nip to the bathroom. I'll be 1 minute. Hard to say. Car's having a break a new high makes sense. See, could have it like that. In which case, yeah, I think that's probably the safer option. Now, is this going to trap longs here? Breakout incoming. That's what I'm thinking. Channel break new high. 1, 2, 3 attempts. Trouble is, Mac will say you want to be out before this area here. We have broken above here. This is not my forte. We've had comfortably 2 legs up. See, it could just continue on up. But yeah, I mean, it's a doji. This could do absolutely anything. I don't think you can go long or short here at the moment. You may pull back with a good signal bar. Most breakouts fail. The trouble is, we've pushed up, made a break in a new high, and we're going sideways. So this could go higher. This looks like a bottoming pattern to me. We've pushed up, we've made a correction and a good strong move up. So this could quite easily push a lot higher. Or it could turn and come back down. Does that look terrible? I don't think it looks terrible. Could be a leg, a correction, and another leg. I'm on the fence here, so I'm just going to have to sit and type. Sit and wait. Spike up and channel. This looks more sideways than a channel. You're looking at something like that. This looks more of a bit of congestion. So it's tough on this. Further back, you're about here. I'm not sure about this. Could come cruising down. I'd like it to break out here and then give us a breakout pullback to go lower, because that looks like a channel with a break, 2 pushes to a new high. But the trouble is, when it's doing this, starting at 61.39, 61.30. Oh, you're about here. No, that doesn't work for me. This looks to me nothing more complicated than a channel with a break and a new high and then sideways. So it's easy to get into something like that and think, let's go long. But at the moment, we're going sideways right at this level. So I don't think it is a spike in a channel. It looks to me like a channel with a break, 2 pushes to a new high and some consolidation. Now, this could come down back into this area, or it could push up. I really don't know. I can't see any bigger channel there. The only other larger channel that this may turn into would be something like that. But what I will say is this was support. Now it's resistance. It's bouncing off it. So I really wouldn't like to call this. Part of me thinks as it's bouncing on there, we push up, we bounce 1, 2, 3 and up we go. Part of me thinks that. But then there's another part of me thinks this could be a failure and this could come crewing down. A break lower than yeah. Sometimes it'll break low, won't it, and then push up. Or break out, pull back, trapping some longs to go short again. I need a whiskey. Calm my nerves. Or it could be well, it could be a triple test to go long. I'm on the fence here. Trouble is, it's very easy to get this wrong. And you've really got to be sure what this is doing to get into a trade. And at the moment, the way it's going sideways, I'm not convinced. Yeah, when it's like this, it could do either or, up or down. See, kind of looking like you got bullish bars there, but that could trigger and come rushing down. Or if it gets above this area, it may continue on up. I wouldn't want to take that. One or two ticks from the high off the bottom. I think that's vulnerable. Whether it'll make a difference or not, but a trade like that for me, it's vulnerable, which means it could trigger it and come rushing down. But so support, resistance, or resistance support. It's like drinking with firearms. Yeah, no one's going to get shot in this house, though, are they? It actually does take the edge off it sometimes. I have drunk when I've traded before. Not much, but I have done it. It was about a year ago. I had, I don't know, nearly half a bottle of scotch, and I blew 10 PAs one after another. Don't want to take the break out. Yeah, trouble is, that is look like it's working up, but I've seen it do that before and trigger it and drop. And then that and that all get stopped out. Trouble is, when it's like that, it is unpredictable. So I like to try and go for what I consider 90% plus setups if I can, or what I consider as that. And I think they're definitely out there. But there, yeah, you can clearly see it's kind of looked like it's working up. But I've been in trades like that before that trigger, yeah, and then drop. So I try and not get, too stuck into this has got to go up, because it simply hasn't done. It looks like it's going to, but you just never know. And if you get into that frame of mind where you're certain something's going to happen, sometimes it can just completely turn. So, sure. I think we'll get it. Fell breakout on the downside, yeah. See, this is going up to me. I don't think it'll fell breakout. I think it'll be a breakout pullback, trap some shorts maybe. But I think now, push up sideways, push up. I can see us getting up to the highs of the day, yeah. So that looks like a leg to me. I'd have preferred it down here, really. So this to me looks like it's bottom in this section here. We got a bounce, a bounce, a bounce, bounce, a retest and a strong move up. Then we had that correction. We didn't get down to the bottoms, and then we had a very strong, consistent move up. Now that can't carry on forever, and you're going to have traders 100% taking profits here because of this level here. And you've got the overnight lows there. Another thing, it's bouncing off the overnight lows. So you're going to have traders taking profit, and then it consolidates for a bit, and then, you know, maybe you start getting more of your buyers coming in, and eventually it starts to get up here, and then once it eats some stops, that gives it a little bit more momentum, and then they kind of ride it up. That's how I see it. So I would say I would be thinking about something along those lines. Push up, sideways push up. But sometimes it just doesn't give us an entry. It just slowly works up. Now, you mentioned something like that, didn't you? I just don't like these bits of gaps here. The reason I've mentioned it is I've seen some other one who's just put that on there. Possibly. It's put, turned out to be a good day at the office. Maybe for you. Not for me. Well, I've not had a bad day, but it's been a slow day. So it's possible. See, I'm still looking at that daily. You get above this, I wouldn't be shocked. We're only 30 points above all-time highs, so push up, a few attempts to go lower, we'll slowly grind it up, and then woof. I did think we may come back to this area here, but we're not far off. Once we get above here, may cruise up. So, what's going on today? It's kind of doing the same, isn't it? So, I mean, we may just be in a bigger range. Trouble is, there's nothing you can do up here, unfortunately. I was tempted to get in here, but the trouble is every one of those bullish bars there are way too far from that EMA, and it could quite easily trigger snapback, take out some of these stops here, and then give us a failed breakout to push up for a second leg. So it's just nothing that interested me there. I didn't see anybody getting in here. It's just too congested. The fact that it worked is kind of irrelevant to a degree. I don't even like that at the moment. Yeah, it's just hard to tell, isn't it? So the way we're bouncing there, we're holding above there and above the EMA, and we're bouncing also above the overnight lows, which tells me it's more likely to go up. But the trouble is, when you've got these bars which are kind of floating up, they're a bit too far from the EMA. You never know it's going to flush down first, give us a failed breakout, and then up we go. So I still don't, although my thought process, it was probably likely going to go up, I still just don't like getting in here because I've done it before. They've triggered you, stopped you out, and ended up going in the direction you thought they would in the first place. So I've learned to just got to leave it alone. So let's have a look at your channel again. Well, it's bouncing the right place, isn't it? It certainly could be. Let's see if anybody else. I've got one person with it. 3. There's a couple of people. He's got it, I think. Yeah. And he's got the same. Let's have a look on Downs. And he's got it as well. Yeah, I think there's something in play. Just need to get more bars. So there is a few people with it like that. I've put it up there because we've bounced in the right place. So I'm guessing there's going to be some bulls trap there, so I'd like to see a second leg down here now, because I wouldn't want to take that. There's a little micro trend down there. So my guess is that's going to get triggered and stopped out, which then would give us 2 legs. That's if it happens, of course. So another reason I wouldn't take a trade like that. Bull bar at the EMA. Well, if we can get a leg and another leg, that may get us into that area. Only trouble is, if that is a channel, it may break us out. Having said that, the bigger the channel, the bigger the break, the more time it takes to push up. That is not a big channel. If indeed it is a channel, it doesn't look terrible. So a leg and a leg, a small breakdown to here, I don't think there's a problem with going long there. If that had been a great big long channel, I'd expect a little bit more than that around this way before it pushed up. You just never know. I wouldn't expect that to do that. One, it's floating just there, isn't it? It's not off the bottom of it. It's nowhere near the EMA. So that to me just looks like easy liquidity. But then you just never know. I certainly wouldn't want to add to a trade like that, but you never quite know what it's going to do. Trend goes need maybe. Trouble is, I'd expect 2 legs down first. See if you've got that up there, haven't you? Trouble is, a lot of times as we break, we'll get 2 legs down and push up. Okay, now what am I seeing here? Let's slip back here. Now, I'd like to see a leg and a leg. Okay, bearish bar there. Now, if you like that little channel, it has broken up by a tick or two, something like that. I'd still like to see 2 legs down. I wouldn't want to go long here. So I would have said if the traders are going to go long there, they're going to have their orders down here. It doesn't mean it won't trigger this and push up, but my gut feeling is we're going to have that. Slow as slow can be. 2 hours that news, isn't it? Martin, hello my friend, how are you? Has been a while. I'm on camera. You get the pleasure of seeing my lovely face now. Lucky you, eh? Well, the trouble is when you've been chatting to people now for well over 2 years, I think it's nice to sort of get to know people, isn't it? How are you keeping, my friend? How's trading been to you, kind? It's been finicky lately, I will say that. It's not been easy to trade lately. It's not, no. I've finally started to make some money after 4 years of losing it. So that's good. So, bearish bar there is triggered. Where's that going? Above here? You probably think so, wouldn't you? Your voice does match your face. Okay, I always thought I got a sexy voice, so what does that mean then? Well, I thought I have. I haven't really. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's weird, isn't it, when you hear people and you see their face, something doesn't quite match. But I'm glad I match. That's good. Good. Today even took exceptionally same trades as you. Really. Yeah, it's not. It's odd lately. I think there's just not a lot of good setups lately. And when you do see one, you're kind of falling over yourself trying to click the button, aren't you? But yeah, noon in New York, getting late, still looking for that. Is it noon? Okay, so it's around about lunchtime, isn't it? So that's probably why it's slow. Yeah, it's not been easy lately. It's been really slow lately. Now, you know, I know they had all the lead up to Trump coming into office, and now he's here. He's, you know, he's taken a few swings here or there, which is, I don't know. Markets has been bouncing around a few times when he's spoke, so I'm assuming that'll settle down. But it's not been easy for a while, is it? Just not a lot of setups around, unless you're down a course and then you're taking 2 or 3 day. But no, I think in fact I haven't heard anything from Marco. Where's Marco? Is Marco still around? Where is Marco? I haven't seen his name here for a while. In the Discord. Unless he's on holiday. He's taking what? Oh, he's in it. Okay, that makes sense. Right, I gotcha. Yeah. Cool, I haven't skied for a long time. I worked in a ski resort when I was 21 for a couple of months. Val d'Isère in France. I'll tell you what, having a hangover at altitude doesn't work well, does it? Oh, glad he's taking a break. I'll be taking a week this year sometime. Excuse me, I'm guessing around, I've been away for a few years. I'm guessing around about July time. We'll nip away for a week somewhere. Probably Greece or something. I want to go to Dubai for a week, but I think I've been outvoted. I don't get much of a say in this house when you're living with 2 women. So yeah, I'm guessing that'll be during the school holidays. My daughter finishes school this year, starts college in September, so it'd be nice to have a nice holiday for her while she goes away. So that'll be, I'm guessing, around July time area. Elite trader wants above VWAPs, longs, trap the sellers. Yeah, where is VWAP? I mean, I don't use it personally. I'm guessing it's around here somewhere, is it? I mean, yeah, we've got FOMC today, so you don't know how much of this just side was because of that. But, you know, we got a leg up with kind of, I don't know. I'm guessing this area is going to slowly work too. It's on my chart, is it? It's not on my chart. This on my chart is the 21-day exponential moving average, so I haven't got VWAP. Well, did you mean I can get it? Because I price action trade, I just go for small moves. I don't generally use it. Lots of fancy pants forex traders in Dubai. I want to be one of those fancy pants forex well, any type of trader. It's like the ultimate destination if you're earning money, isn't it? And you don't fancy, because I know in the UK, I'm not sure what it's like in the US. I know in the UK, I think above, I think you get about the first £12,500 12,700, something like that, tax free. And then between 12,700 and 55,000, you're paying 20%. And I think between 55,000 and 125, you're paying 40%. And then anything above that, you're paying 45%. So if you're earning, I don't know, 100, 200,000 a year, that's the beauty about being a trader. You're not held back by any one type of place. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, got you. So Dubai is somewhere I'd love to go. I just think you get stitched over here with the tax. It's ridiculous. You get taxed on top of tax on top of tax. It's horrendous. So if I get to the stage where I can earn, I don't know, I'm earning in excess of $20,000 a month. Whether it'll ever happen or not, I don't know. I like to think it will at some point. Then I'll certainly consider it. I mean, that will be $240,000 a year. You're going to lose the best part of $90,000 of that to tax. I'm guessing in Dubai with $90,000, you could certainly afford to pay accommodation, pay all your bills, and afford to eat. But it's just the quality of life, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. It's like a pipe dream, if you like. Maybe it might happen, maybe it won't. But I think it's good to have these little dreams. Sometimes they inspire you, don't they? And you kind of know what you're working for. So, but I do love the option that you can more or less go wherever you like. Obviously, money permitting, but you're not held down by a business. I've heard people say, "Oh, we want to retire and go here, go and live there." I do it now, but I can't because of work or because of business commitments or whatever. But you don't have that as a trader. You can literally up sticks and go wherever you like. I know a guy who trades out of a camper van. I know someone who trades on a barge. In the UK, so there's nothing holding you back, really. So that now is looking better and better. Need to submit a self-assessment after you've earned $1,000 a year. I will this year, definitely. See, I know if it's no sport, yeah. See, I believe in the US, if you emigrated, you still have to pay tax, don't you? Am I right in saying that? Over in the UK, you don't. I think all it is you have to be out the country more than 6 months of the year, something like that. But I believe if you're a US citizen, you go to somewhere like Dubai, don't you have to pay a certain amount of tax, which I think is a bit harsh if you move out the country. But Dubai and places like that, you technically should have from last year as well. Do you know, because I kind of had that attitude that I was just playing around with this and I didn't really make any money. So worst comes to worst, if they do, I'll just say, okay, fine, you owe me. You know what I mean? So once I kind of hit break even and, I'll be moving on for the year, then, so I don't know, we'll see. So, couple of legs back here. Trouble is, we just don't seem to get set up slightly. Albania is good weather, 15% max. Albania. Albania. What's the weather like in Albania? In the US, you need to give up your... okay, I got you. Otherwise, you've got to pay tax. So if you live in other countries, yeah. Alright, you've got to have deep pockets. Well, I know a guy who lives there, and he said it was about 30% cheaper to live in Dubai than it is in London. Now, he was a school teacher, and he went over there with his then girlfriend to Dubai to work for a year as a teacher. And they loved it that much. A few years later, he learned to trade, and he said he was earning about $300,000 a year. And he was paying $130,000 a year tax, something like that. And they went over to Dubai, and they had a really well-off life for just what they were paying tax in the UK without even needing to spend what they earned above that. So their plan was to stay out there for 5 to 10 years and come back and buy a house. So it's one of those things, you know. I'll go over there as well. I mean, whether it'll ever happen, I don't know, but you know, I have spoken to people who live there, and you can live relatively cheaply, but obviously you can live quite extravagantly as well. But I certainly think for even 50, 60,000 a year, you can live relatively okay. That we're just talking about the basics. But, you know, if you're earning 200,000 a year, you're paying 80,000 just in tax. That's without even touching your wages. So, I don't know. It's like a little dream, isn't it? It'd be nice to say, where's Lance gone? Oh, he's moved over to Dubai, earning a ton of money. It's just, you got to have your little dreams. I have a wife and a daughter, so if it was up to them, the only chance I'll get living over there is if I'm commuting Monday to Friday. So, but you got to have these little dreams, haven't you? Or even over there 6-8 months of the year, 4 months back in the UK. Be nice to have that option, though. You know, if you're earning some decent money. And I think if you stick at this game, you can earn a nice living. So I actually like this channel now. It's starting to get nicer. Now we've had more touches on there. And I've just noticed Dan's put it there as well. I wish he'd post his chart a little more, like every 30 seconds. So he took that trade. I thought he might have done. So if we can get 2 legs back here, we may still get something. Fingers crossed, eh?
Order submitted.
So, leg and a leg maybe. I don't think that would be a terrible option. We've come from the top. Leg, we'll see. So we've eaten up that. That's fine. That's held. So 1, 2. I'll be looking for a triple test here. Channel break, new low, bounce. So, channel, nothing I can do here. 1, 2, triple test here, be a good idea. So that looks like a break. So I'd like to see something like that. Let's just get rid of
Order
that for the minute.
cancelled.
Yeah, 1, 2. Come close to the top, so you would naturally think when we get to this area, traders getting in down here. So that all of a sudden that trade doesn't seem so bad now, does it, that correction? And not only that, like Mac will often say, it's often the centre of the pattern. You look about here, I mean, it well did that, did it? Pushed up beautifully. So FOMC is in 40 minutes, all right, yeah. So Dan's removed that now. So channel break, 2 pushes to a new high. He's actually got that as one big channel, but I think it's irrelevant anyway. We clearly had a break. Nutty stream the FTT creditors meeting. Scott earlier? Don't know. Fast track. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Were they talking about the fast track trading? I'll have a look later. Bought a load of cars with clients' money. I stayed away from the company. I didn't like some of the stuff I heard about him, just some of the language. He didn't come over as a professional. He was arguing with people in the Discord and stuff like that. It just... fortunately, I never touched fast track trading. I can't imagine what it must be like having a lot of money sat in there, knowing the chances are you're not going to get it back. Do you know what? I remember hearing Kellyanne talking about it, and she said, especially if in the US, if you've had payments from fast track trading, the official receivers, whatever they call the creditors, could potentially ask for some of it back to evenly distribute it to people who hadn't had the payments. I don't know how the hell they can do that. If you've paid, you've made your money, I'd say, okay, that's fair enough, but I want back every penny I've put. I don't know how the hell they can do that. How could they tell people, all right, you've earned money from fast track trading, but we want some of it back so we can give to sod that. You're not having any of my money back. If I've paid money to pass evaluations or whatever, if it's cost me money and I've been paid for what I've earned, how can you ask for some of that back? I know it absolutely makes no sense whatsoever. I've never heard nothing so ludicrous. I'd say, no, you can prize it from my dead fingers, but there's no way. You've paid money for these accounts. You've traded. You've won your trades and you've been paid. How the hell can they ask for it back? Not a chance. Crazy, isn't it? Absolute crazy. Ironically enough, that actually kind of fits with the midline. I think it's a bit early, isn't it? But it's got crazy, isn't it? Not the easiest days today, gotta say. Mind you, I say that every bloody day. Time of day is it? 25 past. We're back to the close, yeah. Are we having a couple of legs and this is going to continue up? You kind of feel that, don't you? We've got now close to these areas. But you don't know. Are we going to bounce off overnight lows there? Who knows? So, channel break, new low. That's if it is a break. We've been following the Danny Trade stuff. Danny Trades. I've heard that name. No, what's that about? Danny Trades. Danny Trades. Is that anything to do with Futures for Our Futures making videos or not? They crap me up, them guys. Danny Trade stuff. Something rings a bell. I watched something a couple of nights ago. I like the if you've not seen Futures for Our Futures, I think they're really funny. They kind of use AI as to sort of tell a story. Partner of a prop firm runs this court and this called falsifying records with trade about. You joking? He trades. He was sim trading or something. Something rings a bell. I've read it somewhere, or I've heard it on YouTube somewhere, or something like that. So it rings a bell, but I'm not really sure. The trouble is, if there's so many videos out on certain people, what's his name? Is it Iman or Iman Trading? He did a video on not Thomas Wade. He did a video on Patrick Whelan saying he was trading on a sim and making out as real, and the same with trades by Matt as well. Now, I would say I'm pretty certain that Patrick Whelan is earning a stink load of money. So I don't know. Maybe that was the case in the earlier days. I don't know. At the end of the day, YouTube channels, people tell untruths, don't they? Because they want the YouTube channel to grow. It's kind of the way life is. I believe what people say to a degree with a pinch of salt. If they say they earn that, then good luck to them. But there was one about trades by Matt. There was one about, who was the other guy, the ICT. There's this, that Iman, he's made trades about, and I'm thinking, oh, please, I never want to hear my name mentioned. I don't get involved in it. I tend to keep out of it all. The disputes that people are having, all this sort of stuff. So I tend to just, you can see my P accounts here. Every time I get a payment, I show you the email and stuff. But it's irrelevant what I do, really, to a degree. But I know a lot of people do it because they think it'll grow the YouTube channel. So they may make out their earnings stink loads of money, but YouTube doesn't really interest me. Do you know what I make off YouTube? About $15 a month. So it's neither here nor there. It's paid once every 3 months. It doesn't bear any interest at all. So YouTube, for me, I'm not what I would consider a YouTuber. You'll never see, or very rarely make me see in videos. I've probably only made about 3 or 4 in the last, just if I've come across any type of new information. But doesn't interest me in growing the channels. You'll never hear me saying to subscribe or hit the like button or nothing like that. It doesn't interest me. But I don't doubt that people like Patrick and Trades by Matt and that earn a ton of money out of affiliates. They probably do. But yeah, it doesn't really interest me. It doesn't really interest me. I'm more focused on I want to learn to trade to make money. So, I don't want to be tied down having to make YouTube videos and all this sort of stuff. To be honest with you, streaming's easy. All I got to do is hit the stream button and it kind of does it all for me. There's no editing, none of that stuff I need to do. And that's it. It's out there. It's as simple as that. You're an influencer. You're an online person. I'm actually small fry compared to people out there. I read what's his name? Who's the big guy in YouTube? What's his name? The young lad who got offered $1 billion for his YouTube channel. And he said no. He turned him down. What's his name? The Beast, Mr. Beast. He got offered $1 billion for his YouTube channel and he turned it down. So I don't doubt there's a lot of money to be made in these things, but you've got to be interesting. You've got to have, you've got to attract people. People are going to want to, watch you and stuff. I'm just like you guys. I'm stuck in a spare room at home trying to make trading my living. Mr. Beast. Oh, that guy makes some money. Mind you, he gives away a fortune, doesn't he? But some people have just got the gift when it comes to doing stuff like that. The Jake Paul and it's the other two brothers as well. They can make a ton of money. I heard when they had that boxing fight with Mike Tyson, his shorts cost $1 million. Now, to spend $1 million on a pair of fancy shorts to box in, you've got to be earning stupid money. So I don't doubt it, but I'm just not that person. I'm not interested enough. I haven't got the gift of the gab. I can't, attract loads of people with me. So no. But I know, in fact, it surprised me that Kellyanne, on one of her months, just from fast track trading, earned $20,000. She must have cried like a baby when they went on. When they went on, I would have done. Can you imagine that? I tend to make about $1,000, $1,200 a month. Imagine all of a sudden fast track trading come out. I put their thing on my screen and make $20,000 one month, and the next month they do a rug pull. I'd be crying like a baby. California, love listening to you all the way across the pond. Good, I'm pleased. It's nice to have some company, is it? This isn't our business. And it's a lonely old business as well. Trading can be really lonely, so I think it's good to chat to other people. If I wasn't talking to you guys, I tell you now, I'd be talking to myself. It's nice to share this stuff with, I think. Trouble is, I haven't got work colleagues that I go out and work with. You guys sort of come through. I wasn't expecting that. You guys sort of come through. Come through the internet. It's nice to have some company. Trading is boring. I don't know. I'm kind of a people person. I do like being around people or even talking to them. It doesn't bother me with them talking to them. But it is nice to have some company. Karina, same to you, Karina. I think you are our only lady, aren't you? I think. We look out for you, Karina. If ever you need us, we're there for you. You're like our little sister. There was a couple. There was a couple of ladies or girls. Let's call them girls. May sound younger. There was a couple who pop in from time to time. I forget their names now. From the US, husband and wife. They trade together. I forget the name. I'll know if I see it. And there was another one as well from the UK that I've not heard of since. Yeah, and I understand some people come and go. Can I cut the relationship with them long before the rug pull? Did you really? Sure, so wouldn't promote them. And I tell you something. I remember that. Yeah, I take my hat off to turn away $20,000 and cut your ties with someone. That takes some doing. That does. But I know she had some falling outs with them. A CEO should not be in a Discord arguing with customers. It's just not. It's not the right thing to do. It doesn't come over as a professional company, and yeah, that's why I never touched them. Well, that and the price. It's too expensive if you ask me to buy them. I'd rather, when I say earn them, most of them might have come down to luck evaluations, but I don't want to pay that sort of money. But he didn't come over like a professional businessman, did he? Kellyanne cut ties when Scott's racist audios were leaked. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you never quite know who you're dealing with, do you? You don't know who you're in bed with sometimes. I know Apex have had their fair share of Apex scammers too. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. See, part of me likes Apex because I've been with them for 2 years. I know how they work. And in all fairness, touch wood, I've never personally had an issue. Now, I know people say Apex will allow you to do this if you're a streamer. I've never had an email from Apex offering me a penny. Trust me. But, you know, some people say, Matt, I don't doubt some companies approach big, you know, YouTube influencers and offer them the world. I don't doubt it. Business is business. You start a business, you find people who are in the know, and you give them a little bit of money or a backhand or what's it. No one's ever done that to me because I'm small fry. I'm not a YouTuber as such. But I don't doubt it happens. But no, I mean, I've had some things for free. Like I've said, I put a few people onto Dan, and he offered me to use the forum for free. That's it, straight like that. And I went, okay, that's nice of you, and I'll put something on, a little link on my thing. So that's just helping each other out. And I got what else have I had for free? I've had TradeSync. I don't pay for that. And Replicanto, I don't pay for that. So, but I have had, I'd say, numerous businesses approach me with a new trading platform. I had one a couple of months ago with a new trading platform. If you could, he said to me, pay me $500 a month if I can use a new platform and introduce it to my, and I said, well, why would I do that? Why would I move from the platform I've been using for the last 3.5 years? It makes no sense. And you want me to try and sell something to somebody who's been using their own platform? It makes no sense. So I just said I'm not interested. Politely, of course. But you get them from time to time, people offering you this, that, and the other, new platforms for this or new indicators. If I think there's something we can use, then I'll see if anyone's interested. But if I don't think anyone's interested, I don't want to start forcing things down people's throat. Called marketing, absolutely. But I don't doubt, some of the bigger influences like Matt, Trades by Matt, and probably even Nutty, what's it? Apparently he didn't. A Canadian futures trader got offered something and turned him down, didn't he? Good on him. Good for him. I think if it's unscrupulous, you've got to turn it down. If you're telling people lies and you get an extra special treatment, I think you have to turn it down. Now, don't get me wrong. I have an affiliate link and you guys use me affiliate. But it doesn't cost you anything. So the way I see it, it was my way of getting some of my money back from Apex. But I wouldn't tell lies to make money from people. Because it's just wrong. But as I say, I'm only small fry. No one's interested in me. And I kind of like that way. I don't want to get involved in all these court cases and these arguments and fallouts and stuff. I'm quite happy with my quiet little life. Don't like John. Unscrupulous is a crazy word. How you doing, pal? I was watching some of your bar by bars. You sound very posh. You didn't sound like I thought you'd sound. You sound very posh and very well to do. Kind of like you live in some sort of a castle somewhere. Yeah, I thought very posh. But I didn't realise you had some of your bar by bars you were talking on there. So I sound with my voice. Yeah, a lot of people don't like their voice. I was a DJ in a nightclub for years. I had a mobile disco from about the age of 16 onwards, and I did it well into me 25s. So I met my wife actually working in a nightclub. So I kind of got used to my voice, but yeah, a lot of people don't like it. But I remember the first time I ever stuck a mic in front of my face when I first started DJing. I used to hide down behind the console. But you sound what? But no, are you going to do one of those every day? I did opened one up earlier and actually had a look. Do you do one every day? I don't think you do you? But it's kind of nice to. I think it's nice to get a name to a face. I've seen a picture of you. I've stalked you on your Facebook page in the past. But it is nice to know some. You talk to people for. It's been 3.5 years now. I've been chatting to you on and off, and it is nice to see somebody and hear them. I think. You just do it on Fridays whenever Mac. Yeah, okay. So you've taken a couple today, I believe, haven't you? Did you take something here? I'm pretty sure you took something here, didn't you? I did look at this, and we were kind of bouncing off that overnight lows, but that signal bar formed a bit naff to me. And then I'm guessing you took that on the engulfing, didn't you, I think? But I've had nothing as yet. Absolutely zilch. It's not the easiest of trading days. I thought for a time there'd have been something up there, but it's not quite working that way, is it? Took that last move, entry point. Couldn't get. What are you taking now? You 6 ticks you take, don't you? So I go for 3 points, and it does work, to be honest with you. It does work. It works pretty well. So what I like is if I take a loss, it's kind of covered by, what is that, 80 hours low today, isn't it? I kind of like how it works out at 1-to-1. It just gives me that little bit of peace of mind. 6 ticks, yeah. But it is surprising. I mean, some of your trades rocket off, which tells you you're taking a trade in the right position, because all of a sudden if it gains momentum, it just means you're on the right side of the people, who are buying at that price or selling. But you used to scalp a point, didn't you? But at some point when you scalp a tiny move and you see the price do that, you have to kind of ask yourself, is it worth going for a little bit more? And I know it takes a little bit of I asked you once, I think, and you said you found it hard enough to sit through 1 point, let alone going for 2. But I looked at your charts. I think it was your charts and Marco's a couple of years back now, when I was looking, and I was just thinking so many trades go for 2 points at least. So going from 1 to 2 points was a no-brainer for me. But it's not everyone's cup of tea, is it? We've got FMC coming up in about an hour, just over an hour and a quarter. So I'm usually done by about 6 o'clock UK time. It's not the easiest trading day, is it really? I was very tempted by that, but the signal bar, I like the fact that this looks like it's bottoming. We've had a really nice correction, and I used to see the gorilla guy taking them and getting out the highs, and look, that thing took off slowly but surely. So I think this is going to be a dry day for me. Well, I say I'm down $50. I got into a trade but got out of it at a small loss, but that's fine. So I don't know. Would you see if I go from there to there? You would have to say there's a small break and a new low there. But this kind of looks like a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. The way that's worked doesn't strike me as something that's going to push up and break these highs. I could be wrong, but that seems like too much of a break for something like that. So I don't think that is a channel. But we are kind of bouncing off overnight lows, aren't we? And we are bouncing at that same area, so maybe that will push up. There's definitely that support. You can see it there for the overnight lows. We bounced under it there, sat on top of it, broke below, but immediately pushed up and bounced off it. So is this going to push up? It's hard to say because that does look like a head and shoulders pattern now. I know we're not pattern traders, but there are traders who trade them like that. So I just want to see what happens here. Always like, yeah, I did as well. Hey Tim, how you doing, bud? I asked somebody, I forget who it was, I was chatting in one of the Discords and they said he was trading under a different name. Why, I don't know. You know, he got a couple of thousand subscribers and people knew his name, but obviously Israel has changed a little bit. I believe he lived on the outskirts of Tel Aviv. Now, obviously, when, you know, all that stuff happened with Hamas, when was that? Quite a while ago now. You don't know whether he ended up, you know, was he military age? I don't know. I think he was a bit older than that, wasn't he? But I don't know how it works over there. So whether that took him away from the charts, I don't know. But I liked him. I liked what he had to say. I enjoyed watching him. In fact, I was watching a couple of his videos a week or two back. But that's the type of trade he takes. Big, strong push-up, a nice correction, and he would get in down here, maybe on a bit of a limit order, and he would try and get out of the top or follow it up for the top. But I liked, you know, I liked how he thought. It was kind of how I wanted to go a little bit more, going for bigger moves, and I think, you know, we all kind of veer that way, don't we? We all kind of find. You did count legs, yeah. He did, yeah. Yeah, a couple of times he did get stopped out a few times. You know, a couple of times in ranges he went long off the bottom, and I thought I wouldn't do that, and he got stopped out. And he went long again, and I thought that's not low enough for me, and he got stopped out again. Then fortunately he got 9 points. So, but you know, there is more money to be made than, you know, the 1, 2 or 3 points as me as a price action trader goes for. So the more experience you get of watching price, you know, you'll be better equipped when, you know, opportunities like that present themselves. Now, I left it, but this looks like it's bottoming to me, and I was very tempted to take it, but I left it in the end. But it worked beautifully. So, you know, if that type of picture, you know, sort of jumps in front of my eyes again, then I might be tempted to have a go. And the ATR is low today, so I don't think it was a huge risk. Well, it's low now, but we got a lot of small bars there, but I still don't think it was massive. So tick above, tick below, 2.7. That's I'm okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. I go for 3 points, so taking out of commissions, it's comfortably 1-to-1. That is, and then that went up. He tends to sort of aim to get out at the top, which is 8 points. So I would, if I was going to follow that up, I would probably have my profit up here, and I would have my stop maybe then under there. And once we get that push, I'd probably launch this up and try and secure as much as I can. And in that case, you'd have had just shy of 10 points, which is over 3 trades to me. So if that kind of picture shows me again, then I may have a go at that. But yeah, counting legs is really good. If you can learn to count legs, you'll do much better. So the trouble is, with having this, that and the other, you never know if this is just going to turn. I mean, we've got a channel here. There is a small break and a new low, but it's not huge. So we could have there's kind of a little micro up there. I mean, it is looking like it's pushing up, but there's a little micro with a break and a new high. There's a big bullish bar there, which has triggered. So I wouldn't be shocked if this thing came down. But it's a bit, I don't know, it's just a bit unclear. We've got FOMC coming up in just over an hour, so I don't know. All the good traders always test the trade out first with the one order and then get stopped out and keep working that order. Yeah, there's so many ways to trade, isn't there? I was watching the guy from Wrench Capital, and the trade was going against him and he was buying into him, but it worked. I mean, that's a skill in itself. It kind of doesn't make much sense to me if a trade's going against you. I've seen that guy from that Asian guy. What's his name? He makes a lot of money now. I forget his name. I think he's kind of, I don't know, Middle Eastern, but I've mentioned him quite a few times. He's a good trader now, but I watched him take a massive loss a couple of years ago. And the price was going against him and he was just scaling in. And Michael Chin. that's not the one I was thinking of. Avram, you know what I mean. He's the guy that owns Zuella. Not Zuella. What's it called? Zuella, you know what I mean. Yeah, he scaled in big time and had a massive loss. And I kind of couldn't understand why he was doing it, but TradeZeller, sorry, owns TradeZeller, the guy I'm thinking of, Afram something or other. But yeah, he trades like that. But it's something I've never done, so I don't kind of fully understand. I know if price goes against you and you add to it, TradeZeller, yeah, technically it shortens your, it what's the word I'm looking for? It's, doesn't it soften out your position? I can't think off the top of my head what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, if I'm sort of going long and every time I jump in, it brings it back or the opposite. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making much sense today. Yeah, but I like what he's got to say, that guy. He talks quite a bit about when he was new to trading, some of the mistakes he used to make. So this to me doesn't look attractive to go long. There's a guy on Thomas Wade's channel, Mr. Pricey. Yeah. Trades pats but scales in losses like our Brooks. He does it really well. Burn accounts daily. Yeah, it's quite a skill, that, isn't it? Knowing how to do it right. It depends how you've learned to trade a lot. You know, I've kind of stuck with pats because it was what I first kind of started. Really, I did 6 months of currency from a complete beginner, and then I actually saw Michael Chin and his good buddy trading, and because I'm quite a wired person, I like the idea of just having one chart and one time frame. If anybody's ever traded currency, you've got charts all over the place. You're looking at, I think, the 6 major currency pairs plus a bunch of the minor ones, and you're having different time frames. And I just remember it was an absolute ball ache. And then going from that to having one chart, one time frame, and that is it, was really refreshing to me, and it moved quick enough to kind of keep me interested. I think when I was trading currency, we were trading I think the shortest time frame was probably the hourly, and it just seemed to take forever. It's like this, yeah. So yeah, well, I suppose from it makes sense to me from a cryptocurrency point of view. If Bitcoin's coming down, if I buy a Bitcoin at $100,000 and it comes down to $50,000, I've lost money. But if I buy a second Bitcoin, it kind of average. I've got one at 50,000, one at 100,000, but I've averaged it down to $75,000. So they're technically a little bit cheaper, aren't they? So if you do it and you know what you're doing and you're good at it. I understand that it can work well with you, but I have enough trouble trading the way I trade, let alone adding or taking away. I think I'm nearly done anyway. So only a small loss today. Nothing terrible. $50, $57, $58. And I'm all right with that. I realised what was happening and got straight out. If I'd have waited, left the trade, I'd have lost $400 or close to it. So I realised what was happening. I didn't be greedy. I wasn't greedy and thought, let's get out for break even. I just got out for a small $50 loss. And that's fine. I've got no issues with that. It's a small amount. And I have my Guardian Angel set to $100. So I've got a little bit of flexibility. If I decide to get out and trade for a small loss, I can still trade them. So time now is 5 to 6. So we're an hour away. So... 3.5 hours nearly, so I am about done, I think. I don't know what's going on today. It's not, you know, it kind of looked like it's a channel, and maybe it is to a degree. Yeah, you too, bud. You too. So I'm done for the day, folks. Not the easiest day today. Yeah, I mean, 2 legs down. I don't know. I get why people might be thinking long there, but when price starts to go up like that, you don't know when it's going to trigger and drop. But, you know, when you've seen the way the charts go, it does explain things. We're kind of working up, but it's very tatty, isn't it? It's not super clear. It doesn't fit nice. Although I will say that looked like it was bottoming, so when we add that, my thought process, it was going to push up to at least these highs, but I left it anyway, but that'll come in time. So there you go, folks. So we are Thursday, so I can't believe another week's nearly gone already. So best of luck. Keeping in mind FOMC is in about an hour, so meeting minutes, so I'm guessing there's going to be fireworks, so I may have an evaluation 7 o'clock in an hour just for a bit of fun. I've probably got more chance of passing one. So there you go. I'll leave you to it. I appreciate your company today. If you're carrying on trading, best of luck. Failing that, have a great evening. Stay safe. And we'll catch up tomorrow. Bye for now.